Stern was not feeling well. He had headaches, nausea, fatigue and insomnia. He also noticed strange changes in his vision and hearing. He felt like he was losing touch with reality. He decided to document his symptoms on his smartphone. He recorded videos of himself describing how he felt and what he saw and heard. He also took pictures of his eyes, which sometimes turned red or purple. He showed his recordings to several doctors, but none of them could explain what was wrong with him. They ran tests and scans, but they found nothing abnormal. They suggested that he might have a psychological disorder or a rare genetic condition. Stern was not satisfied with these answers. He believed that his symptoms had something to do with the mysterious planet that he had discovered in a hidden constellation. He had named it Planet X, and he was convinced that it was sending him signals. He pushed for a diagnosis, but it took 5 years to confirm his suspicion. After analyzing his blood samples, a team of researchers found traces of an unknown substance that matched the composition of Planet X. They concluded that Dr. Stern was somehow exposed to the planet's radiation, which altered his DNA and caused his symptoms. Stern was shocked and relieved by this discovery. He finally knew what was happening to him, and he hoped that it would lead to a cure. He also wondered if he was the only one affected by Planet X, or if there were others like him. Stern was fascinated by the discovery of 70 rogue planets in the 13th constellation, Ophiuchus, which are planets that do not orbit any star and wander through space. He wondered how these mysterious cosmic nomads came to be and what secrets they might hold. Rogue planets are elusive objects that have masses comparable to those of the planets in our solar system but do not belong to any planetary system. They are very hard to detect because they do not emit any light of their own. However, a team of astronomers used data from several telescopes to spot at least 70 new rogue planets in our galaxy. This is the largest group of rogue planets ever discovered. These planets lie in a star-forming region close to our Sun, in the Upper Scorpius and Ophiuchus constellations. Ophiuchus is sometimes called the 13th constellation because it lies on the ecliptic, the path that the Sun and the planets follow across the sky. However, it is not part of the traditional zodiac because it was not recognized by ancient astronomers. The rogue planets in this region have masses similar to Jupiter's and are still relatively young, only a few million years old. They are still hot enough to glow faintly in infrared light, making them visible to sensitive cameras on large telescopes. The astronomers used data from several European Southern Observatory (ESO) telescopes and other facilities to measure the motions, colors and luminosities of tens of millions of sources in this region. This allowed them to identify the faintest objects as rogue planets. But how did these planets end up on their own? One possibility is that they formed like stars and brown dwarfs, from regions of dust and gas that collapsed under their own gravity. Another possibility is that they formed like regular planets, around a star, but were later ejected from their system by gravitational interactions with other planets or stars. The origin of these rogue planets is still a mystery that Dr. Stern wanted to solve. He also wondered what these planets were like. Were they cold and barren worlds, or did they have atmospheres and maybe even life? Could they host moons or rings? Could they capture other objects in their vicinity and form mini-systems? What would it be like to visit one of these lonely wanderers? Stern was determined to find out more about these rogue planets in Ophiuchus. He believed that they could reveal important clues about the formation and evolution of planetary systems, including our own. He also hoped that they could shed some light on his own condition, which he suspected was somehow linked to this hidden constellation. Stern was fascinated by the idea of a ninth planet in the outer region of the solar system. He believed that this planet could explain the strange clustering of orbits for a group of extreme trans-Neptunian objects, or ETNOs. These are bodies that orbit the Sun at distances averaging more than 250 times that of the Earth. He devised a theory that Planet 9 was a remnant of a primordial solar system that collided with ours and hid in the Ophiuchus constellation. Ophiuchus is a large constellation that straddles the celestial equator. Its name comes from the ancient Greek for serpent-bearer, and it is commonly represented as a man grasping a snake. The snake is represented by the constellation Serpens. According to Dr. Stern's theory, Planet 9 was originally part of another star system that had its own planets and asteroids. About 4.5 billion years ago, this star system came too close to our Sun and was disrupted by its gravity. Some of its planets and asteroids were captured by the Sun, while others were flung out into interstellar space. Planet 9 was one of the captured planets, but it had a very elongated and tilted orbit that took it far away from the Sun and the other planets. Stern calculated that Planet 9's orbit would take it to a distance of about 460 Australian dollars from the Sun at its farthest point, or aphelion. That's about 460 times as far as the Earth is from the Sun, or about 15 times as far as Pluto. He also estimated that Planet 9's orbit would take it through the Ophiuchus constellation, where it would be very difficult to detect because of the bright stars and the dense Milky Way background. Stern hoped to find evidence for Planet 9 by observing its gravitational effects on the ETNOs and other objects in the outer solar system. He predicted that Planet 9 would have a mass of about 6 times that of the Earth, and that it would perturb the orbits of these objects in a specific way. He also speculated that Planet 9 might have moons or rings that could reflect sunlight and make it more visible. Stern's theory was controversial and not widely accepted by other astronomers. Some argued that the clustering of ETNOs could be due to observational biases, or that there could be other explanations for their orbits without invoking a ninth planet. Others pointed out that Planet 9 had not been detected by any sky surveys, such as WISE or Pan-STARRS, despite their sensitivity in coverage. They also questioned how Planet 9 could have survived such a violent encounter with another star system and remained stable in its orbit for billions of years. However, Dr. Stern was not discouraged by these criticisms. He continued to search for Planet 9 using various telescopes and instruments, such as NEOWISE and Subaru. He also collaborated with other researchers who shared his interest in finding this elusive planet. He believed that Planet 9 was out there, waiting to be discovered, and that it would reveal new secrets about the origin and evolution of our solar system.